In the world of football, where passion, pride, and dreams collide, a shocking scandal has shaken the very foundation of the game. What began as whispers of misconduct in Turkey has now exploded into one of the biggest corruption stories in modern sports history. Thousands of players, referees, and officials are under investigation, and the beautiful game is once again stained by the ugly shadow of greed. The news broke like a thunderstorm. Turkish authorities confirmed the arrest of 8 individuals connected to a massive betting scandal that has rocked football at every level. But this wasn't just a small match-fixing incident involving a few bad actors. This was a system, a network, spreading across clubs, divisions, and even officials responsible for upholding the rules. According to the Turkish Football Federation, more than 1,024 players are being investigated for their links to illegal gambling activities. You heard that right, over 1,000 professional players. In a country where football is almost a religion, that number is unimaginable. Each of those players once carried the hopes of their clubs, their families, and their fans. Now, many stand accused of betraying the very game that made them heroes. Authorities say the probe began months ago after suspicious betting patterns were detected on lower division matches. What looked like routine results on paper started to raise questions behind the scenes. Who was scoring the early goals? Why were certain red cards happening at strange moments? Why did underdog teams suddenly defy all logic? Investigators followed the money trail, and what they found left them stunned. Players were allegedly placing bets on their own matches, sometimes even against their own teams. Referees and linesmen were accused of using insider information to profit from scorelines they could directly influence. And in the middle of it all were gambling brokers, people who connected the worlds of football and underground betting syndicates. These brokers allegedly offered money to players and officials in exchange for subtle manipulations. A missed pass, a deliberate foul, a penalty conceded at the right moment. As the investigation deepened, 8 arrests were made, including one high-profile club chairman. The man, whose name Turkish authorities have not officially released, is believed to have orchestrated betting networks that reached from local amateur clubs to professional leagues. The Turkish media has described it as a moral crisis for football, and it's not hard to see why. For decades, Turkey has been a football-loving nation. The stadiums of Istanbul, Ankara, and Izmir are known for their electric atmosphere, for fans who live and breathe every moment of the game. But now, those same fans are left asking a painful question: how deep does this go? How many of the matches they celebrated were truly fair? The scandal has spread like wildfire. Nearly every club in the Turkish league system has been touched by the investigation in some way. Some players claim innocence, saying their betting accounts were hacked or used by friends. Others are staying silent, hiring lawyers, and waiting for the storm to pass. But silence, in times like this, can be just as loud as guilt. The Turkish Football Federation has suspended all players under investigation until the inquiry concludes. In total, over 1,000 footballers, professionals and semi-professionals have been banned from playing. For many, it could mean the end of their careers. For others, even if proven innocent, the stain may never fade. Fans are devastated. Social media is flooded with messages of anger, disbelief, and heartbreak. "We believed in you," one fan wrote under a player's post. "You wore our badge, and you betrayed us." Another wrote, "They've turned our passion into business." For ordinary people who save up just to buy a match ticket, this feels like a betrayal of trust at the highest level. But this scandal isn't just about Turkey. It's a mirror reflecting a global problem in football. Across Europe, Asia, and even Africa, underground betting rings have been growing rapidly. From small leagues in Eastern Europe to youth tournaments in Asia, the influence of illegal gambling is everywhere. And the truth is, football's governing bodies have struggled to keep up. The rise of online betting made it easier than ever for anyone to gamble, even players. What once required secret meetings or cash handovers now happens with a few clicks on a phone. And for struggling players earning modest wages, the temptation to earn quick money can be hard to resist. That's how corruption starts, quietly, invisibly, in the background until one day it explodes. In this case, Turkish investigators discovered hundreds of betting accounts registered under fake names, many linked to football insiders. Some accounts were traced to relatives of players, others to team staff. In one shocking revelation, a match official was found to have placed dozens of bets on games he personally refereed. When confronted, he claimed it was just for fun. UEFA and FIFA have both been informed, and the case could soon expand beyond Turkey's borders. There are reports suggesting connections to international betting groups operating from Eastern Europe and Southeast Asia. If those links are proven, This could become one of the largest match-fixing investigations in football history, possibly rivaling the 2006 Italian Calciopoli scandal that once brought down Juventus. Meanwhile, the Turkish Football Federation has vowed to clean the game completely. In a powerful statement, they said, "This is a dark chapter for our sport, but we will not allow it to define us." They've promised new integrity systems, stricter monitoring, and collaboration with international authorities. But restoring public trust won't be easy. Imagine being a young Turkish football fan today, watching your heroes being handcuffed on the news. For many, the dream of becoming a footballer has always been about pride and honor. But this scandal risks changing that dream into something cynical, a reminder that behind the glamour of professional football, there are shadows few talk about. The impact has already begun. Sponsors are reconsidering deals. Broadcasters are reviewing contracts. Clubs are worried about financial losses. And smaller teams, where the majority of accused players came from, fear collapse altogether. A sport that once brought unity to a divided nation is now dividing it further between those who demand punishment and those who plead for forgiveness. But there's also hope in the chaos. Turkish fans, journalists, and former players are calling for reform. They want transparency, education, and accountability. Some ex-players have volunteered to mentor youth teams, teaching young athletes about the dangers of betting and corruption. "If we want to save football," one retired star said, "we have to start by saving its soul." That's the heart of this story. It's not just about crime, it's about culture. It's about the fight for integrity in a game loved by billions. Every whistle, every tackle, every goal means nothing if the result is already sold before the match even starts. Football is supposed to be unpredictable, emotional, human. The moment money decides the outcome, the magic dies. As investigations continue, more arrests could follow. Reports suggest that the Turkish police have compiled a database of transactions between betting companies and player accounts. They're analyzing thousands of messages, call records, and suspicious transfers. Each new discovery adds another layer to this complex web of deceit. At the center of it all are the players, some guilty, some caught in the crossfire. For them, the punishment is more than suspension. It's shame, disappointment, and a lifetime reputation destroyed. And for their families, it's heartbreak. Parents who once proudly watched their sons play now hide from neighbors. Coaches who spent years developing talent feel betrayed. But this scandal also serves as a warning to the rest of the world. Football is not immune to corruption. No league, no club, no nation can claim to be completely clean. Whenever there is fame and money, there will always be temptation. What matters is how the game responds, with silence or with courage. Turkey now stands at a crossroads. It can bury the scandal, or it can use it to rebuild. The next few months will decide that. If the investigation is thorough and fair, it could become a turning point, not just for Turkish football, but for global sports ethics. And to the fans watching this story unfold, the message is clear. Never lose faith in the spirit of the game. The people may fail it, but the game itself, the love, the passion, the unity is bigger than any scandal. It survives every fall, every betrayal, and every dark night. Because football, at its core, belongs to the people, not the gamblers, not the corrupt, not the powerful. It belongs to the kid kicking a ball in the street, to the father and son watching a match together, to every person who still believes in fair play. And as long as those people keep believing, there's still hope for the beautiful game.